Hello everyone, this is Shadow here once again making another video, and this time um this is quite a random video, or maybe a random video topic, even for myself right here. um I guess, but simply right now is just putting some laundry in the dryer, and suddenly out of nowhere, I really don't know why. The topic of Five Nights at Freddy's, and then more specifically the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, since it will be coming out towards the end of the month. It's currently October right now. Yeah, it just popped in my mind. Again, I don't know why, but it just did. And then I just started thinking to myself, what's it called? Just about the series, my history with it, and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want to dive in on too much about into that right now. But yeah, and then I just thought, you know what? I just want to make a video just talking about the Finance of Freddy's movie. So yeah, so here I am. I guess first and foremost, I think needless to say, because I'm making this video, I am quite excited for the film. Which, in some regards, I mean, it is, at least for me, like, I'm not too surprised because I am, I guess you could say, an inactive fan of the series. Yeah, I can't say I'm really much of an active fan. Like, I haven't played a game since, shoot, I want to say Five Nights at Freddy's 3. But I have been a fan of the series very early on, like during the days of the first game, like maybe about like what, a few weeks after the first game release, when it, like, became a little more popular. Yeah, I just got on board. I just saw some gameplay of them, like, oh wow, it looks pretty intriguing. Now, of course, at the time, while I wasn't able to play, I was, far too young. I was like, what, 13? I want to say I was like 13 at the time. But yeah, yeah, I just watch gameplay, and I think that was the majority of my time, with the series back then. It was just watching gameplay and stuff, and I just realized I made this like a history lesson, even though I said I wouldn't. But anyways, but yeah, so I would say, like, I'm more of an inactive fan. I just haven't been really keeping up with the series. I do know it has expanded far beyond um than what it once was. Like, I think for me, what was the dropping off point was it Finance of Freddy's sister location? I want to say it was sister location, and at least for me, there was a few reasons for that. I guess one of them, and I think might be odd because, at least back then, I heard a lot of people say that they liked the series because of the story. I was actually kind of the opposite. I actually really liked the series because of the gameplay. Now, again, it's odd because I didn't really play the game much back then, but what I did like about the gameplay, it was how it was very, I guess you could say, strategic. Like, there's patterns to how the animatronics moved and stuff like that. And once you figure out these patterns, you could try to use that as a strategy to how to, like, defend against them and try to survive the night. And I really liked that about the gameplay. So I really stuck for the gameplay. However, with Sister Location, at least from what I recall, it was a little bit more story driven, the gameplay driven. I mean, the gameplay was there. There was still definitely a strategy. However, it was just like more on rails. I think that might be the correct term. I'm not sure if, because again, I'm just doing this based off memory. I've not revisited those games either in videos or anything like that in a long time. So, anyways, um, yeah. So I think that was a part of it why I just kind of like thought, I'm just not gonna follow this anymore. Not only that, but I also felt that the story itself, like, while it was intriguing, like, I was like following it, like, especially with for Finance of Freddy's 2. Like, if you were there during those like days, like Finance of Freddy's 2, with the hype of Finance of Freddy's 3 up to 4, like, that time between the like the hype, like starting from the hype of the second game all the way to release of the fourth game, even a little beyond that, that was a pretty amazing time to be a Finance of Freddy's fan. It was just like, it was a popular series. Everybody on the internet was talking about it, and not too long after, there started becoming like merchandise for it. It was a pretty cool time. But anyways, um, yeah, but you follow the story and stuff like that. I was like, oh well, this is pretty intriguing. Everybody wants to know the mystery. Um, but I always, at least for me personally, with the story, a part of the greatness of it was the fact that we knew we had the puzzle pieces. Like, we had, like, most, yeah, I want to say most, if not all, probably not all at the time, but like a good chunk of the puzzle pieces to make a decent picture. It wasn't a complete picture, but it was like a decent enough picture to where you can kind of make out what the image was. And at least for me at the time, that's what I liked about the story of Finance of Freddy. It was that like it was this complete slash incomplete image you can think of, and whatever like missing gaps, it was up to the player to kind of like interpret what those gaps were. Like it gave you enough details to be like, okay, this is like the bite of 87. This event happened here. This purple guy, did this and all that. But like the hows and the whys, like that was up to you to kind of like figure out for yourself. And I really did like that. At least for me, that's like what was part of the appeal of the story for me, and to me why I liked it so much. So when later on, like with the games, once they start expanding more on the story, like there start being like novels that kind of expanded, gave more like backstory to certain characters and stuff, and which I didn't mind. Like I really don't mind like those novels existing. Like I think it's actually pretty cool. It's like kind of like Marvel or Star Wars, like it expands the universe in like very intricate ways, and there's definitely an audience for that. But unfortunately, it didn't seem like I was the audience for that since yeah, cause once it got to that point, I just felt the story just got way too convoluted for its own sake. Because I think the scene that kind of like made me drop off the franchise at the time was like I think it was like a post credit scene for like Sister Location. I want to say it was for Sister Location, where you see like Springtrap and he was like he's gonna go look for someone like that. I think he said he was gonna look for his father, and then I remember like coming after school, like seeing the video of my recommendations, like okay, I guess I'll watch it, and then seeing the scene, and I just kind of like face palmed. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I face palmed at the time. I'm just like, oh my lord, like what even is this anymore? So and then I'm like, you know what? This is starting to become a little too much for me. Like I don't know who this dad is. I don't even know who this guy is. Like who, it just became a little too detailed. I guess you could say for me, it was just like, the magic's gone. Um, okay, but anyways, what does it have to do with the movie? And actually, just that's actually part of the reason why I'm a little excited for the movie. Not only because again, I just been a fan on and off. I guess when you with the series over the years. Um, but at least one of my hopes for it is that the movie will make that part of the franchise, the whole stuff about like William Afton, I believe his name is, and like and whatever backstory he has, and whatever other characters may be involved or not. Um, I'm hoping that this film will make that part of the franchise a lot more digestible for fans like me. For fans like I don't know how much of a how many others like carry his opinion like I do, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if any others like thought it was just too much for the franchise or it's just too confusing. But I'm just hoping that it makes that part, yeah, much more digestible, a lot more simpler. Um, it makes it feel a little bit more natural to the story because again, like as the series like built on itself with that different pieces of lore and stuff, it just came a little too much. Yeah, again, it just came a little too much. Like it's just how do you have to access it? Like I do recall like a few years ago, like someone told me that some of the pieces to the story was found in a coloring book of Five Nights at Freddy. It was just kind of random out of nowhere. I was like, what the heck? I mean, that's I appreciate the dedication, but like at least for me, like it's one thing to look at games for like secret messages and try to figure out the puzzle. It's another thing to go buy a dang coloring book and just try to find out some random like puzzle that may be in there when maybe upon buying it, I had no intent of like doing that other than probably color it, give it to my like younger brother to color. So again, it was just that whole like barrier that just appeared. I mean, maybe a barrier that I made for myself that I'm hoping that the film will lower. So I'm like, okay, I get like what's the appeal of like this character right here or these characters and stuff like that. Yeah. So I guess not only that. Another reason why I'm excited for it is because at least for me, it looks like it's gonna be another great video game film. Like over the past like year or so, I'd say heck, ever since 2020 with the release of the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, um, or I guess first live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I should specify because there technically was another. But anyways, um, that really did help kick off. Okay, I should give credit to Detective Pikachu and stuff. That was a film beforehand. I've seen it. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. But anyways, um, but anyway, all this to say, yeah, we had a good run of good video game media over the past few years, and then that's something I really like. Um, and I couldn't be happy for it. It's probably no surprise if you ever watch any of my videos of this channel or you just look at my banner or something like that. I like video games, but I also like film as well. And I'm glad that finally, after so long, that all these video game films and video game media, and just like other media like books, TV, of course, film as well, can actually be good and very enjoyable within itself, and also as a good representation of the games. So, and like the Mario movie, for example, I've already mentioned the Sonic movies. I haven't seen it for myself, but I heard The Last of Us was really good. So, of course, you can add that there. Yeah, but to continue on with then that, it's also just another great film, another possibly good horror film, at least a horror film that I would enjoy. Since yeah, I might have said this before, but I'm not like the greatest fan of horror. It's just not really my thing. Unfortunately, I heard it's a pretty cool genre, but yeah, at least most times I'm not really able to get into it. But I'm a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, so this might be like another like bridge for people like me or even like others who probably aren't traditionally horror fans, to get on board. May enjoy this movie as well. So I'm also excited for that. Just on that front, it's another good movie just to watch. Just for Halloween, right in time. Part of the season, all that. So like yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. Again, it's just random out of nowhere while I was doing laundry. I'm like, I just want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. So, anyways, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this ramble. It's just me just talking right here. And if you are excited for a movie, you're ready for to talk about it. And if you do watch it, I sincerely hope you do enjoy it. So, anyways, that's enough out of me. Hope you enjoy the movie or whatever you're watching right now. And yeah, I hope you're doing well and hope you take care. See ya.